morning, this is Gary Edwards, and today we're going to talk about meditation practices to visualize or imaging practices to prepare for success. Now, my experience was that I was a social worker for 40 years, including 17 years with the state of Idaho. I was a licensed social worker, working mostly in child protection investigations and support for foster children and families. And I was also a supervisor for 5 of those years. So these techniques that I'm going to teach you are based on workshops that I attended over the years. These workshops were secular in nature, so this is not a religious exercise because while I worked for the state, the training and the practices had to be non-religious, secular based. So if you ever felt stuck on a plateau, like you can't break through to the next level of success, do you know what you want in life? Would you like to be more creative and be able to compose music, write books or poetry and screenplays, films, and musical theater, or perhaps be an artist with unique art and come up with more and better creative interpretations and inspirations? Maybe you're interested in being more successful in getting dates with attractive men or women and would like to have more meaningful relationships, and you feel like you've been going through a cycle of unsuccessful relationships and now you're ready to be in a long-term relationship. Would you like to have better outcomes in job interviews and career aspirations? Would you like to be more successful and work your way up the ladder of success? Maybe make more money or get more satisfying jobs? Do what you really want to do in life? As I said before, this is not a spiritual exercise. This is a secular exercise on visualization and imaging. You can use these imaging techniques to relax, to make better decisions, to find better jobs, learn how to be assertive when you're confronting a problem, or making a new decision when you're applying for a loan, or making new friends, recovering from illness, deciding whether to move, applying for a school. Just in general, making better life-changing decisions. Now, what I'm going to do is help you learn one new visualization technique with each video. These videos will be short, and each one represents a step in the progress that I made in my own life. For instance, when I was about 30 years old, I found myself in a situation where I'd worked in the same company for the same state for 12 years, and I was at the bottom of the layoff list because everybody else had more seniority than I did. So I aspired to be more successful. Also, I found that I was making barely enough money to almost qualify for low-income food stamp assistance. So what I'm going to do is present one technique per video and practice this technique a week or two and inculcate it into your life and your practices daily until you proceed to the next example, and then find which technique works best for you and which one you like the best that's going to help you in your life. Now, the key to visualization is first deciding what it is that you want. Do you want a date? Do you want to ace a job interview? Do you want to make new friends? So first, what I would suggest is decide what you want, and then picture yourself in the life that you want to be living. Picture yourself being successful in the house that you want to live in, with the mate that you want to live in the town that you want to live in, and what success means for you. For me, success means being able to do what I want to do instead of having somebody else tell me what to do, and having a satisfying career and helping other people. For you, it may be something else, having material possessions like a boat or a second car. Generally, these visualization techniques start off pretty much the same. So let's use example number 1 right now. It's called guided imaging. What I want you to do is find a comfortable chair where you can hear this video. Turn down the lights to where it's fairly dark in the room so that there's no distractions from light. And make sure you're in a quiet setting where there's no dogs barking or children making noise that's going to distract you from clearing your mind and your thoughts. All right, so the next step is to sit back, relax, close your eyes, and some people like to hear relaxing music while they're using these techniques, so I'll play some songs that I've written myself at this point. Okay, now close your eyes if you haven't already done so, and picture your breathing. Focus on your breathing. Breathe deep down in your diaphragm and relax and get centered. Focus on your diaphragm and your breathing. Just relax. Now, this is not hypnosis. You're not going to forget who you are or where you are or start clucking like a chicken. This is just something to help clear all the clutter out of your mind, clear all the distractions, and relax. How often is it you have the chance to just sit back and relax, not be busy, and clear out all distractions and all thoughts from your mind? Focus on your breathing. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Take another deep breath. Exhale slowly. And just do this 5 or 6 times until it gets to be natural and you find yourself in a natural rhythm, deep breathing, and focusing on your breathing. Now, when you're completely relaxed, not a care in the world, nothing else to think about, I'm going to do some guided imagery, and it'll be safe, it'll be pleasant, and no harm will come to you. So picture yourself in a town, maybe somewhere where you used to live and have pleasant memories, someplace, a small town, hardly any traffic, hardly any people passing you on the street. And you're walking down the street and you're looking in the shop windows, and you come to a shop that is boarded up and closed, and the windows are a little dusty. So you stop and wonder, what was this shop? What were the dreams of the people who built this store? What were their aspirations? And you just think about that for a minute. Relax, keep breathing steadily. Now you approach the window of the shop and you look through the window and you see some clutter in the room. You see some dust settle down on the planks and the boards and things that are laying around. And you see some articles in the room and you start to wonder about them. So picture what articles you're seeing. Maybe you see an old dusty book laying around somewhere, and it recalls to mind a pleasant book that you used to like to read when you were growing up, and it brings back pleasant memories of your childhood. And just think about that book for a minute. What is going on, what the characters are doing. The thoughts are pleasant, the thoughts are good, thoughts are relaxing. And you look on another shelf and you see a tool, maybe a hammer. And that brings to mind other pleasant memories, projects that you've worked on, something that you've done maybe with friends from long ago, maybe friends that you haven't seen for a long time. So just picture that for a moment. What else do you see? You're relaxed, you're comfortable, you're breathing, deep, relaxing breaths. What else do you see? Do you see a couple of fishing poles lying in the corner gathering dust? Maybe a fishing tackle box? And that brings to mind other pleasant memories. Think about the nice hot summer days. The birds are chirping, the bees are buzzing. You're comfortable, you're on a bank of a river or maybe on a boat in a lake, and things are going perfectly. Everything is just pleasant, and you're kind of lost in that time and that space. Now, if you're a female, maybe you see a dress that's gathering dust in the corner and you wonder about the girl that wore the dress, or what their life was like, how many years ago it was. Maybe they could be your mother or some other favorite relative, a grandmother. And you wonder what happened to her, and you wish for a pleasant life for that person. So just take your time, relax, and let your mind wander through this room of this dusty, boarded up storefront, and think of pleasant dreams, pleasant hopes, pleasant lives, people happy, doing what they want, spreading love, spreading comfort, eating maybe a nice home-cooked dinner, preparing it and distributing it with love. Maybe it makes you think of your grandmother, and it makes you feel good. So when you're ready, you start to come back to where you're at, and you close this thought with pleasant thoughts, knowing that the rest of the day is going to go well and everything is going to be just fine. I hope you're feeling well and feeling pleasant. If you're feeling stressed out or having negative thoughts, consider talking to a therapist. And if you're feeling emotionally distressed, perhaps suicidal or homicidal, call 911 and get some help immediately. Otherwise, this is a pleasant day. Everything is going to be just fine. I want to tell you about a new service I'm going to offer through Patreon, which is a letters to the editor type of video. And my focus will be on men, because the main focus in most letters to the editor and advice columnists is focused on the female point of view. So based on my experience of 40 years as a social worker and being married for 45 years successfully and having a successful career and enjoying my other activities now that I'm retired, like composing music and making videos and films, I want you to have a better life, and I feel qualified because I've been successful. Remember, when you're seeking someone's advice, to look for some person who has been successful. It may or may not be a counselor. And if you find that your counselor is compensating for his dysfunctional upbringing or her dysfunctional upbringing, and is more focused on their own problems, it's okay to look for a different counselor. But what I would like you to do is send me an email, ask me any questions for advice about decisions that you're trying to make, and I will answer you personally and for free. And what I'm going to do is take the best of these emails to the advice columnist, me, and publish 3 or 4 in each video regularly on Patreon. And they will be anonymous, so no one will be able to identify you. So remember, contact me about problems that you may be having. Now, in the next episode, I'll be going through another visualization technique and take you to a little higher level. So practice what we've talked about for a week or so, and then tune in next time. And thanks for coming, and good luck.